The real problem with MrBeast, Logan Paul, and KSI's new pre-packaged lunch kit company Lunchly is a mix between the actual product itself, the people who made it, and also the marketing strategies involved. Now, this is my third video on the whole entire Lunchly controversy, and hopefully this is my last. I mean, unless for some reason Logan, KSI, or MrBeast respond to the actual criticism behind their new company, which they will probably will never do. They're just going to make everybody think that people are hating on them because they are successful creators and we're all just jealous little people.
These are people who sit online all day, they don't go outside, they don't smell the grass.
And they will probably never address people's real concerns with the products, which that's called criticism. And I've always heard it's good to receive criticism, but I guess in the YouTuber business world, you just try to silence the criticism. Anyway, today we're going to be talking about the real problem with Lunchly. Now, Dr. Mike uploaded a really good video where he went through Lunchly's nutritional facts and the ingredients used. I more so have just talked about the creators behind the product, but I really do think that looking at the nutritional facts and the ingredients just goes hand in hand with Logan Paul, KSI, and MrBeast's shady and honestly pretty shitty marketing strategies, and of course their manipulation of their young fans.
That while these kits are fun and tasty, their nutritional value is just not good. They're often too high in sodium, saturated fat, and added sugars, and don't use healthy whole food ingredients. And because they fall into the category of ultra processed foods, they aren't healthy to consume often, period. Studies actually show that those consuming high amounts of UPFs can have up to 50% higher risk of developing obesity, and some specific UPFs are linked to increases in cancer.
Now, this is what I'm talking about when I say that the nutritional facts and ingredients go hand in hand with the whole marketing strategies. When MrBeast launched Feastables, his chocolate bar company, he marketed it as a healthier than Hershey's and better for you chocolate bar. Now, this is the controversial statement that many people have different opinions on. Logan Paul and KSI did the same thing with their Prime hydration drink. It's a healthier or better for you sports drink. Some people say that they aren't deceiving their fans by claiming it's healthier for them because technically they use higher quality ingredients, which technically means it's healthier for you. But think about it in this way. If a new and upcoming cigarette company released a new cigarette that was exactly like a regular cigarette but had one less harmful ingredient, say they took out the nicotine, do you think it's fair that they claim it to be a healthier cigarette and a better for you cigarette just because they took out one ingredient? Sure, on text it can be healthier, but that does not make it healthy by any means. And sure, it's better for you because there's no nicotine, but there are still things in the cigarette that are harmful to your health. Now let's put this in Lunchly and Lunchables terms. Sure, you can use higher quality ingredients, but you are still using highly processed ingredients which are not good for you or your health. That's the problem a lot of people have when MrBeast, Logan Paul, and KSI say that these products are healthier than the alternative and a better for you product. Sure, it may have some better ingredients than the competitor, but ultimately it's still highly processed crap. And when you tell a grade school kid that something is healthier, they more than likely automatically think it's healthy for them. And I think MrBeast, KSI, and Logan Paul know this and can manipulate their audience, especially with the fake giveaways that they do.
And starting February 17th, for 30 days straight, we are going to be giving away $10,000 to a lucky customer who scans the QR code on the back of any new Feastable bar.
A kid who has never eaten chocolate can now be addicted to chocolate just because MrBeast said he would win $10,000 by buying the chocolate bar.
My own take on Lunchables, I don't recommend parents pack them for their kids on a daily basis. A low quality food with poor nutritional value. But now what about Lunchly? Starting with the first claim, in the press release announcing the product, Logan Paul was quoted as saying Lunchly is a healthier alternative and that it's a better for you lunch option compared to Lunchables. In fact, throughout the Lunchly website and the social media promo posts, you'll see countless comparisons being made to Lunchables. To be honest, some of the comparisons are kind of cringe and don't make much sense to me, but maybe that's because I'm not the target demo. Flavorful combos versus standard picks? The meal kit combos are nearly identical to Lunchables. Big gestures versus mid moments? I certainly don't remember that lesson in my nutrition classes.
Yeah, and I mean, even this right here, the flavorful combos versus standard picks, and bold packaging versus basic packaging, and big gestures versus mid moments. It's all just a way for MrBeast, Logan Paul, and KSI to get a hold of these kids' attention and make them buy the product. I mean, it's not a bad thing, but they are deceiving the kids by purposely leaving out key nutritional facts in their promotions so that kids just think these Lunchlys are an epic lunch. I mean, they literally put epic ingredients on the box. Wow, this is an epic ingredient pizza crust.
And in looking in the comparison, I'd be most interested in calories, which they have, protein, which they have, sugar, which they have, saturated fat, which is missing, and sodium, which is not only missing, but replaced by electrolytes. And unlike all the other macros, is only labeled potassium and only in the Prime bottle in the kit, comparing it to the Capri Sun in the Lunchables. This is a pretty weird marketing choice to label electrolytes in food products. It's such a strange choice that it even stunned fellow Dr. Brian Suterer, who tweeted,
"Sodium getting rebranded as electrolytes will be taught in marketing textbooks one day."
And then sadly was ashamed to see Logan attack instead of starting a meaningful dialogue with the doctor, given that 400 milligrams is not the amount of electrolytes in Prime.
Yeah, why would Logan Paul want to have an actual meaningful conversation with a doctor when he can just shit talk him? I don't know if it's an ego thing or what, but like I said earlier, criticism should be used by companies so that they can better their product or company or whatever it may be. But so far, it just seems to me that every time somebody has tried to criticize Logan, KSI, or MrBeast, we are just all haters and mad at them for being successful. There have been so many creators, and me included, who have made actual videos with fair criticism towards the Lunchly product, and so far, neither of the three have responded to any valid claims. They keep just bringing up the Dan TDM tweet and calling us depressed losers for voicing our criticisms. That's why I will always respond to them when they make dumb videos like they have been making, responding to the controversy and then making a joke out of everything. Like, they need to be called out, and I just hope that my videos can help not only educate people on their shady and manipulating marketing strategies, but also just make people think twice when hearing something from their favorite creator.
I wanted to go further and do the comparisons myself using the nutrition facts from the Lunchables and Lunchly websites, and it's honestly really hard to draw perfectly clear conclusions for several reasons. One, I don't have nutrition facts for each part of the kits. For example, how many calories come from Feastables versus the food component? Second, some of the portion sizes aren't the same. The turkey cracker kit from Lunchables is 82 grams, while Lunchly's is 72 grams. Three, there are so many varieties of Lunchables that just swapping out the flavor of Capri Sun caused significant differences in sugar and calorie content. What I was able to conclude is that Lunchly has less sugar and therefore less calories than Lunchables in comparable kits.
That's one thing I wondered too while looking at the Lunchly nutrition facts. For example, the turkey Stack'ems is 230 calories, which, first off, that is not enough calories for a kid for lunch. I mean, plain and simple. Second, how much of those 230 calories is the Feastables chocolate bar? I would maybe guess around 90 to 120 of the calories are from the Feastables bar, so maybe the turkey Stack'ems themselves are only around, 100 to 150 of those calories, which again is not enough calories for a kid for lunch. Now, I think Dr. Mike tells the exact number of calories a kid should be eating for lunch, but it is way higher than 230, I'll tell you that. And especially a decent part of those 230 calories are coming from chocolate.
That's probably due to the drink component of the kit, as Capri Sun uses sugar and Prime is artificially sweetened. Lunchly has significantly more potassium than Lunchables because of the Prime drink, which I guess is good, but not something I'd regularly use in deciding if a food is an ideal lunch for a kid. Lunchly has slightly less sodium and saturated fat than comparable Lunchables. That's definitely moving in the right direction, however, both differences were fairly small. Lunchly does use real cheese as opposed to cheese product, signaling that at least one ingredient is less processed than in Lunchables, but the entirety of the kit is still considered an ultra-processed meal. Lunchly has higher amounts of A and B vitamins, which can be good, but also can be problematic as vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin, and kids can easily overconsume it, leading to toxicity. Being that it's fat-soluble means that you can't just urinate excess out. This has actually been raised as an issue by experts with Prime in general.
And it's funny hearing this from an actual doctor, because MrBeast, Logan Paul, and KSI claim that they have experts working on these products and are so passionate about kids' health and making things healthier and better for kids. Childhood obesity is such a concern to them. But then you see the actual ingredients and nutritional facts and are just sitting here like, damn, maybe they're just saying that to look like good people. MrBeast said, and I quote, "Obviously eating fresh chicken and broccoli is healthier, but if someone is going to eat a pre-made meal like this, which millions of people do through Lunchables, then I think giving them a higher quality version at roughly the same price is a net good in my opinion, and that's why we launched Lunchly. But if you truly cared about kids and their health and were passionate about trying to solve childhood obesity like you guys claim, you wouldn't be selling chocolate chocolate, sports drinks, and highly processed foods. You would be telling your fans about the importance of drinking water and eating non-processed foods, but that doesn't make you guys any money, so you resort to doing quite the opposite. Nobody would have a problem if you guys just launched these companies, but it's the fact that you guys keep claiming it's a healthier alternative and better for you just so you can manipulate children into thinking it's healthy so they can buy your product. KSI and Logan Paul have also mentioned how people like Ryan Trahan and FaZe Rug have created candy and have gotten no backlash, and that's just simply because they don't promote it as healthy and they don't tell their fans how big of advocates they are for children's health and childhood obesity.
Despite these legitimate upgrades, social media posts are slamming Lunchly for not being perfect. But Lunchly does not need to be perfect to be valuable for kids. It just needs to be significantly healthier in order to reduce risk. As a doctor, I use risk reduction all the time, essentially taking something harmful and replacing it with something less harmful, but still imperfect. As an example, I would never recommend starting vaping, but getting someone to replace smoking cigarettes with vaping is generally a good step down in terms of health risk. Knowing all that, is it fair to say that Lunchly is healthier? I guess one can say yes, but honestly, probably more so as a marketing tactic.
And that is exactly why people are upset and angry. There's no actual care from MrBeast, Logan Paul, and KSI for children's health. They just market it that way because they have built such a trust from their audience. They know they can say anything and their young audiences will listen to them. Oh, Logan Paul said it's much healthier than Lunchables, so it must be so much more healthy for me. My favorite quote, and I think I saw this on X, it was like taking processed crap and making it less processed but selling it as healthy food. Yeah, that's basically what they're doing. I mean, yeah.
The reason why? Well, let's look at the recently passed nutrition standards set forth by the USDA for school lunches and see how Lunchly compares. Going line by line here. Less than 10% of calories should come from saturated fat. Lunchly turkey, 23% of calories come from saturated fat. Less than 10% of calories should come from added sugars. Lunchly turkey, 10.4 comes from added sugars. But this is where things get really interesting, and for some reason no one has pointed this out. You see, USDA caloric guidelines say that a lunch meal for kids K through 8 should contain around 625 calories. Kids need energy to function, and calories give them that energy. Lunchly turkey contains only 230 calories, which would mean a kid would need to eat about 2.7 portions to consume enough calories. And if they did that, they'd get nearly 1,300 milligrams of sodium, which is also significantly over the USDA standards. So they'd be either under eating calories or overeating sodium. Finally, the grain guidelines state that 80% of lunch meals must be whole grain, and Lunchly turkey does not list any whole grain ingredients.
Yeah, so once again, Lunchly is just not much better than Lunchables, and at least Lunchables has more calories and is more of a meal than just a 150 calorie turkey snack stack. I don't know. At least half of Lunchables calories don't come from a chocolate bar.
It's clear Lunchly, just like Lunchables, misses the mark too many times to be considered meaningfully healthier, at least in my opinion. That being said, I do think many criticisms pointed at Logan, KSI, and Jimmy are unfair. Attacking them for trying to create a successful influencer product isn't inherently problematic.
I think Dr. Mike said this just to not sound mean or anything, because he does seem like a pretty nice guy, but nobody is giving them backlash because they're trying to create a successful influencer business. It's all just the lies and shady marketing they're using to manipulate their young audience. And I feel like influencers almost have a duty to influence people in a beneficial way. I mean, there are already large companies manipulating and deceiving millions upon millions of people, and I guess I just thought influencers were supposed to do the opposite and, stand for actually something meaningful. I thought they were, supposed to influence, but I guess that's all just morals, and I guess the influencers who are actually trying to have a positive impact on people are the ones with the good morals. I don't really know. I guess it's not really my place to say.
Isn't inherently problematic. I just think if a company was truly interested in creating a healthier lunch kit for kids, the USDA standards should be the minimum starting requirements. Otherwise, we're simply propagating the problem even further. One of my hopes is that in navigating the future feedback on this company, the guys hire a health professional to guide them in making messaging more accurate. I just saw someone ask about heavy metal contamination, and Logan responded with a video of an X-ray machine checking for foreign materials. That checks for stray objects accidentally getting into the meals, not heavy metal contaminations like we discussed earlier healthier with Lunchables and lead. And saying a food has more electrolytes, therefore it must be better or healthier, is just not true. Foods with an incredibly high sodium content and electrolyte are not considered particularly healthy. In fact, many are considered unhealthy for that reason. I can't expect non-medical people to get this perfect, but if you're gonna stand by a children's food product being healthy, you need to hold your messaging to a higher standard.
Well said by Dr. Mike. I mean, no glazing, but I think that was a really good video, and I think it's great coming from an actual licensed doctor. I think a lot of us who have actually done research on Lunchly have sort of came to the same conclusions, but it just sounds a lot better coming from Mike. But anyway, this has been The Real Problem with MrBeast, KSI, and Logan Paul's new pre-packaged food company Lunchly. But yeah, if you guys enjoyed, make sure you guys subscribe so you never miss an upload, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.